In this lecture, we are going to learn how to use multiple decorators on a class and in which order those decorators will be executed. Let's go to VS Code, and here currently on this user class we are using this template decorator, but let's also go ahead and let's use the logger decorator. So this logger decorator, it is basically the decorator factory function which is going to return us a logger function which will be used as a decorator on this user class. And in the same way, this template is also a decorator factory function, which is going to return us a decorator function. So in order to use multiple decorators on a class, we can simply specify them like this. So we want to use these two decorators on this user class. So we have specified them using this @ symbol and after that the decorator name. With this, if I save the changes, and let me also refresh the page here. So you will see that both the decorators are working. You can see this message. This is a custom logger which is coming from this logger decorator. Okay. And then we have this message user class constructor called because we are using this template decorator and inside that we are creating an instance of this user class at this line. So when we are creating an instance of that user class, its constructor will be called and this message will be logged. And at the same time here also we are creating an instance of this user class. So from here also its constructor will be called and this message will be logged in the console. That's why you are seeing this message 2 times. But let me go ahead and let me comment this line where we are creating an instance of the user class. Let me save the changes. And now you will see we have this message user class constructor called and this is custom logger. Now the next question is in which order the decorator functions will be executed. Before that, let's also try to understand in which order the decorator factory functions will be executed. So here, this template, it is a decorator factory function. From within this function, we are returning the decorator function. In the same way, this logger decorator, it is a factory function. From within this decorator factory function, we are returning this logger function. So inside these factory functions, let's go ahead and let's write a console.log statement and let's see which one of these factory functions will be executed first. So here I'll say logger decorator factory. Okay, let me copy this console.log statement and that's also added inside this template decorator factory function. So here we'll say template decorator factory. Now if I save the changes, here you see when we are using these decorators, first we have specified the logger decorator and then we have specified the template. So if I save the changes, you will see that first we are seeing this message logger decorator factory and then we are seeing this message template decorator factory. That means the factory functions gets called in the order in which we have used it. Here, first we have called the logger decorator factory function. So that was called first and then we are calling the template decorator factory function. So it was called next. Now the next question is both of these decorator factory functions are going to return us a decorator function. So in which order those decorator functions will be executed? Let's see that. So again in the decorator functions, so here I have the decorator function, this logger function, which is the decorator function. So in there, let's add a console.log message and there let's say logger decorator called. And I'm going to comment this console.log statement for now. And let me copy this console.log statement and let's also put it inside this template decorator function. So I'm going to put it in the very first line and here I'll say template decorator called. Okay. If I save the changes now, you will see that for the decorator factory function, since we called this logger decorator factory function first, it got called first. Then we called this template decorator factory function, so it got called next. But in case when we are executing the decorator functions, which these factory functions are returning, they are getting executed in a reverse order. So first, the template decorator got called, as you can see. Okay, and after that only the logger decorator got called. So the execution of the decorator function is from bottom up. In this example, this template decorator will be executed first, and after that only the logger decorator will be executed, because the execution of the decorator function is from bottom up. Okay. So in this way, we can use multiple decorators. In this example, we have used two decorators on this user class, but we can have more than two decorators as well. So we can use multiple decorators, and we can use multiple decorators not only on classes, but also on methods or properties or accessors, etc. And when we use multiple decorators, the decorator functions gets executed from bottom up. So this is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.